Odd Pod, the oddest little podcast. Get it? Odd Pod. That was good, wasn't it, guys? Right?
Meh.
God. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I am Stacy Kruger. Who are you fantastic little freaks?
I am casually challenged.
Rat Hazard numero uno.
And I'm Robbie.
Yay! How you guys doing? How the hell was your week?
Less busy than usual, I guess.
It was awesome.
Another week.
So nothing fantastic at all happened? Am I really going to be the only person here with a story from this week?
Sounds like it.
Oh my God. It's like everybody's just like, we're going to have boring lives. Stacy's like, oh, I'll go adventure and do stupid shit for the podcast. Don't worry, guys. You stay at home. It's okay.
I got my annual hair trimming.
Annual?
I get my hair, the split ends. I get the split ends of my hair and my beard trimmed like maybe 2 or 3 times a year.
Really? I thought I was bad with that.
Extravagant.
Well, it's like I don't trim my hair at all, but that's because I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I just let it grow, and then when it gets like a certain length, I say, yeah, I should probably get it cut.
So when it's down to your asshole, you're like, you know what? It's starting to tickle when I'm taking a shit. I should probably trim it.
It doesn't get quite that long, unfortunately.
Only picture I've ever seen of you is back when I think you were in the middle of like fucking art school still or or you're in the middle of college and you just had this like really short haircut. So that's why I'm going like, wait, how do you not trim your hair that much?
I haven't had hair since. Well, I mean, I haven't had short hair since secondary school.
I haven't had hair. Oh shit! Where'd it go? Where's the wig man?
The vast majority of the pictures you see of me, my hair is tied back in like a ponytail.
Oh,
that's why I look short.
Well, I knew that. I was testing you to make sure you knew about your own hair. I swear.
Yeah, I started tying it back because it made it really difficult to eat on a windy day.
Welcome to the Odd Pod Haircast.
Well, don't see it when it comes to long hair, though. Like me, I have like the fucking long, luscious locks here. You just kind of get used to it. You just like, okay, you learn to like have a permanent supply of hair ties, like in your car, in your pocket, up your ass, somewhere that you know you can get to at a random time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I just like to tie it back and then just leave it. I don't like to fucking untie it and retie it, all that shit.
Plus, let's face it, having a good handlebar there is nice once in a while, right?
Oh, yeah.
That could go both ways, so don't you go like, oh my God, Stacy, your girl, stop talking about suck a dick. It could go both ways. Ladies sometimes like to grab on the hair like, get in there, you little bastard! Find the little man in the boat!
Why do you think I grew up this long?
Get in, I'm gonna ride it! Alright, God damn it. So last night, as many of you guys remember, I've been talking about my band playing its first show last night. And unfortunately, I had some equipment issues, so I couldn't play the show, but I was there, to tech support, do shit like that, Tech support, because apparently they had computers. Tech as in their amps, goddammit. Help them tear down, set up, do lights, bullshit like that. Pictures, whatever. So we're sitting there enjoying the show, and they get on stage, play the show, whatever. Nothing really to talk about there. Where we need to talk, though, is the band that came up afterwards, guys. The Conformist Party. As you know, I've been kind of promoting them like crazy on my stream. And this isn't about them. This is about the audience. They were on stage kicking ass, taking names, doing an awesome show. I fucking loved it. I was having a blast listening to their show. And that's when I looked down from the stage, down to the floor in front of me. And that's when I realized I'm at a bar. And here come the white people dancing.
Oh, joy. And
it's not like normal white people dancing where, just like kind of sit there and kind of like twitch or something. Just normal, the stereotypical white people. No. This is drunk white people dancing. So, like, they're like twitching, like doing like they look like they're like going between seizing and doing the twist while like leaning backwards and like trying to like fucking hip bump. It was just weird, man. And I was sitting there going, what in the hell have I done to myself? Why am I here? It was creepy, man. And all of a sudden, the entire audience stopped giving a shit about the band on stage and just started watching these two idiots who were so drunk they were like falling on top of each other dancing. And this is when every phone in the place came out and started pointing at these guys and recording it. I was just waiting for one person to scream World Star. I mean, seriously, man. Anybody get the World Star reference? Anybody? No, nobody.
No.
It sounds vaguely familiar.
Every fight video that comes across the internet is World Star.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Really?
Is that a Street Fighter reference?
No. Oh my. Okay. Website World Star. It's where all the fight videos go. I don't know, man. Every time I look at Twitter, there's a fucking World Star video with like the little World Star watermark on it, where there's people fighting or people getting drunk.
If I watch a video with two people doing something, it's not fighting.
I don't do that internet stuff. I'm old.
Yeah, because you're not on the internet right now at all. No, not at all.
Just two people, Robbie? You need to branch out more.
Be adventurous, man. Come on now.
Well, there's usually a lot of toys involved.
God damn it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've gone from the Odd Pod hair segment to Odd Pod toy segment. God,
Toy Store.
Toy Store! Now, in case you're wondering where the toy store comes from, if you've never seen Dr. Tran, you need in your life Dr. Tran. Am I right, boys?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dr. Tran's like a religious experience. He really is. What's the particular video called? Toy Store 2? Or Trip to the Toy Store or something? I'm totally not looking up as we speak. Okay, it was Dr. Tran, Mr. Tran and the Toy Crack. Toy Cack. Shut up. Just go with it. Dr. Tran, Mr. Tran and the Toy Cack. Just, if you've not seen this before, for the love of Christ, go find it now. You will love me forever. I promise you. I absolutely promise you, you will love me forever if you go and watch this.
Put the podcast down right now. Go watch it, then come back.
Pause it, walk away, forget we exist while watching this. This is the best thing.
I was about to say, what do you think? You better not coming back.
Fuck these. This Dr. Tran guy's a lot funnier than these guys. Fuck this.
You gave them an out. Why would you do that?
Oh, God. All right, so should we actually get to straight up, like, actual real subjects this time?
You mean we hadn't?
Apparently not. But no, but seriously, just public service announcement from the Odd Pod. Don't get drunk and go dance at concerts where the metal's playing, because you just look like an asshole, because people normally headbang and mosh, not awkwardly, drunkenly dance. That's just my public service announcement to everybody right now.
I mean, granted, you'll probably look like an asshole regardless, but still.
At least you won't look like that level of asshole, see? We're trying to help you out here, folks. Now, I know there's a game here that some of us really liked, but the entire internet hated them. And I'm talking about No Man's Sky.
Oh, yeah.
Dun,
Enough
dun,
said.
dun. You have just opened a can of worms. Achievement get.
Right? And
10
honestly,
gamer score.
that response right there is exactly it. Oh, yeah. The game itself, I thought, was cool.
It was a really cool concept.
Exactly. My biggest grief with it was this. The FOV slider. How is it we're in 2000, when it was put out, 2006, and the video game companies still have not gotten the concept of a working FOV slider? Yeah, I mean?
That game came out, like, last year.
Yeah, so I said 2006. 16!
There you go.
You know, I'm still on my first cup of coffee, folks. Please forgive me.
Stacy's too old to time now.
2016 is what I meant, folks. I apologize. But seriously, 2016, how the fuck have we not gotten the concept of hey, some people may get motion sickness and don't want to go into our config files to fix it? Because I think we all get this. We just go in the config file and fix it, right?
I don't know PCs well enough to do that kind of stuff. I'd break something.
That is the issue. Not everybody understands it. I do, but not everybody does. Robbie, would you be able to figure out how to do that? Without having to, like, dig into it and, like, go in the forums and shit?
I mean, the game might not be playable afterwards, but sure.
Rad?
Config files are actually, like, ridiculously easy.
Okay, so...
Says a PC person.
You
Not really.
Say that now. Don't underestimate the idiocy of some people.
No, all you need is the actual line in the syntax, and you literally do it in Notepad.
And you were just speaking what language?
Hi, Nihongo desu.
You know, Rad, that is exactly the point in casual. That right there, little exchange, was exactly the point I'm getting into with this. They failed on so many different levels, and honestly, I'm just getting into just the technical levels, not necessarily the claims issue with the game. The technical issue is just, you know, the game was broken, very broken, wouldn't work right. It got me motion sickness within, I would say, 15 minutes of playing, and I couldn't play it anymore. Me and Rad know how to fix it, but I refuse to fix it. I refuse to go in that config file and fix a game, just so, you know, just to make it easier on the game company. Where someone like Casual, if he bought it for his PC, he'd be fucked. That's wrong. God damn it. Especially when a company like Sony bought them out. Really? Really?
Well,
Go ahead.
I was going to say that the problem is, from a technical standpoint, has been a problem pretty much since the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 era. When the internet became something that everyone was attached to. You know, PC gamers had been on the internet forever.
Yeah.
But console gamers were, well, unless you owned like a Dreamcast or you were one of those rare people that actually bought the PlayStation Network adapter for the PlayStation 2.
Nice to meet you. My name's Stacy Kruger, and I was an idiot for buying it.
Yeah, I did too. I believe it worked for 2 games.
Yep.
But what happened is game developers, they used to produce completed products. Or at the very least, mostly completed. Like, let's say 99% completed. But then when everybody was connected to the internet and developers realized, well, we can just upload a patch to this game on a console, why not just release a sort of complete product and patch it for the next 6 months?
Okay, it worked for... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that's the world we live in now. You know, there are very few companies that produce a fully complete product now. They release it in a beta state, basically, and then we, the gamers, get to deal with the initial launch gamers, the people that buy the game right away. We get to beta test the rest of the game.
So what we're looking at here is there's only 11 games available for the network adapter. Twisted Metal Black online, ATV Off-Road Fury 2. Yeah, because when you want to play with your ATVs, but you just don't want to go in real life, but you really want to go to your buddy's Jeb and go play with your ATVs, you go on ATV Off-Road Fury 2. They had My Street, Madden NFL 2004, NFL Game Day 2004. SOCOM. I don't remember those games at all. SOCOM.
I love SOCOM. That was one of the 2 games that I used with it.
Tony Hawk Underground. Did anybody play that online?
The other one was Final Fantasy.
Yep,
Final Fantasy. I played Tony Hawk Underground years ago.
See, I when I got mine, the reason I bought my PS2 the way I did, because I bought it secondhand with the modem, was because of EverQuest Online. Frontiers, and I ended up hating that game within a moment of buying it, you know, because I remember original EverQuest. I played it on the PC, the original one. I was like, oh, dude, I can't wait. I'm not enjoying this new one, man. And then, of course, Champions of Norath, too.
Yeah, I did play SOCOM online. That was actually pretty fun, if you're into military-type games. And I played Final Fantasy 11.
That was an interesting one. But yeah, so back to the No Man's Sky issue here. You know, it was a broken game. Well, before we get into the patch, I want everyone to hear, to the best of your memory, what were some of the promises we got about No Man's Sky before it was released?
Before we get into that, I want to comment on that whole hype train, because I followed No Man's Sky just like everybody else did. But I actually listened to what was being said, not just like what the developers were saying they wanted to do, but what they were planning for the game to be.
Mm-hmm.
And what the game was from lead developer, I can't remember his name, he's going to go down in history as just horrible, is that he just wanted a procedurally generated world to explore, like a galaxy to explore. Okay. That's all he wanted.
Like Minecraft on steroids.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not even Minecraft, because Minecraft, you can actually build stuff. He actually, in one of the interviews, he actually said, no, I don't really think I will plan to have any building, because I just want to explore. He had this Zen idea, and you could see it on his face every time he talked about it, that he just wanted the galaxy to explore. And that was kind of the problem, is that what he wanted and what we all expected the game to be were two different things.
Absolutely.
Now, the game that came out, I expected it to be exactly what it was. It was a extremely shallow game. Mm-hmm. Didn't have a whole lot of content. But it was exactly what he said he wanted it to be. It was a game of exploration. Now, the problem we can get into later is that the procedural generation just doesn't have enough assets for an entire galaxy. But I just want to go on record as saying, if you actually listen to what he was saying, we got the game that he was, that he wanted to release. Now, as for the promises, well,
there's a reason why every big game studio, EA, Activision, Ubisoft, there's a reason why they have a PR, public relations / marketing department that says the exact same stuff every time. The boilerplate information, so you don't run into you overpromised and underdelivered.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you say. It's going to be a transformative experience. We're excited to see how the players interact. You just say the same bland stuff.
Well, it's exactly it. You have to do that, or else you're going to run into issues like this, where people start to go, "Well, it's going to have this, right? Well, we'll see." We would love it to have that, but we'll see. And that's when people start to go, "Oh, it's going to have this now. It's going to have, we're going to be able to build." Well, I know, I just want to have it this, but we'll see. Well, he just said, we'll see. That means it's going to have buildings. If you
exactly. And temper the expectations. You temper the expectations. So when the game comes out, people say, "Wow, this has more than we thought," and it gets a better reception.
And the biggest problem with this specific game is that they kept letting the lead developer, who of course is going to want all this stuff in his game, but they kept letting him do all the press releases. And I honestly don't know why they let him do that, because how many games do you know of where they let the lead developer off the leash and just, hey, yeah, talk about the game, tell them what you want to do? No, they have, the developers are developing, and the press people are handling what information gets released to, the public.
Well, that's normally why you give a PR person their job. Yeah, I mean, they know what the fuck they're doing.
And here's the other part about No Man's Sky. This was their first game. They were a small studio, so...
no, it actually wasn't. Their first game was Beautiful Joe. Or, in fact, I think they did something just before Beautiful Joe, but the company that made this game had developed a game before, but this was, imagine making the wheel, and then that's your first invention, and then your very next invention is warp drive. That's essentially what this company tried to do. They made a product that was very successful in its genre, and then they decided to make their next game be the entire galaxy.
They originally made Joe Danger. No, Beautiful Joe was Capcom.
Joe Danger, that's it.
Oh, Joe Danger, that was them, huh? That was a fun little game.
Mm-hmm.
I think I still have that on my PS3. Yeah, that was Hello Game. You're son of a bitch. You were completely right. Son of a bitch, huh?
Yeah. Well, the big thing, that's why all these big companies have this stuff, because they learned this lesson very early. Hello Games obviously did not. That you have to have PR.
Exactly. But all right, so let's get into the promises that we remember from this. The promises were huge. That you were going to be able to interact with other players that you saw. You're going to be able to fight with them, or you can be nice to them. You're going to be able to... Oh, God, what were some of the other things?
I think the idea behind them saying that is... Well, I guess they thought the universe is so big, there's no way two players will ever meet.
Yep.
But they underestimated the power of video game players.
Exactly.
Well, they also kind of underestimated their own, or overestimated their own procedural generation system, because when they were making those promises, and I still don't like the term promises because they weren't promises, they were just things they wanted to do. But they overestimated their starting zones, basically, like where you start in the game. You weren't supposed to start right next to players, but apparently something in the code made it so that basically everybody started in the same place.
Mm-hmm. And I remember hearing about on day one, two streamers who were friends, went to the same exact galaxy, found each other, and they were sitting in the same exact spot, and they didn't see each other. So right out the window went the whole aspect of multiplayer, which made me happy because I hate multiplayer. So I was like, all right, good, I'll really play this now. Well, then came the tech issues, but we already covered that. Now, go ahead.
There's a bit here that I'm reading about it, just information, that the developer kept saying it would be nearly impossible for two players to meet.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly impossible means there's still a chance that you can meet and see each other.
Yeah.
When obviously that's not true. So it was more of, he wanted players to discover this for ourselves, when what all the signals you're giving off is that, it's possible.
Exactly. I just get so frustrated when companies do this. You know what? I don't think it was necessarily their fault. Once again, I think it's just they let the internet do what the internet does, and they didn't control it like they should have. I think it's honestly where they went wrong. Now, I think somewhere they went right was with the latest patch, which was they released vehicles, or more vehicles. They opened up player housing and stuff like that to where you can import it into other people's worlds. Now, that gave the internet what they wanted, basically, because that's what gamers wanted. They wanted to be able to build. They wanted to be able to do all this crap. So you gave them, at least threw them a bone, but there was some shit that was still wrong with it. Casual, did you get a chance to play on the new patch at all?
Honestly, I haven't played No Man's Sky. I'm one of those few people that did actually like the game for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem was that after quite a few hours, more than most people were willing to invest, I did realize how shallow the gameplay was. So I kind of just stopped playing it. Then they released a patch where they allowed you to build things, and I played it for like less than an hour, and I haven't even really tried the latest patch. Because while they are updating it, which great, I kind of lost interest in the game.
Same here.
That's what a lot of people have said. I remember Man vs. Game, a streamer on Twitch.tv. Man was super, super excited for this game, just amped for it. He actually got into an argument with another streamer. He bet a steak dinner on it, saying that was going to be a wildly successful game. And you could see his face from starting the stream until a couple hours in. It starts to kind of droop a little bit. By the end of it, he, excuse me, I apologize. Only reason he kept going was because he promised the stream that he would make it to the center of the universe. And by the time he finally got to the center of the universe, he's got this look like, I hate this fucking game so much. You know, same kind of thing as you, Casual, where he devoted quite a long time compared to other people and just went, God, this is nothing. This is shallow. You know,
yeah, I mean, when the developer says he wanted to create a game with like an open world game or open universe game you can explore for a ton of time, you can only, that's like only, God, how do I put this?
It can only occupy you for like, what, an hour?
yeah. If there's nothing to do in the game other than like explore and get the occasional resources and things like that, it's not going to be that successful.
Well, I 100% agree. But yeah, like I said, it's just when they put out the new patch, I expected a lot of things to be fixed. And they fixed some lighting issues, which were huge. They fixed, physics issues. Fantastic. What's the one goddamn things they didn't fix?
I'm going to guess, based on how you started this topic, the FOV slider?
God damn it. 2007 fucking teen. And they can't fix the goddamn FOV slider? Really? 2 patches in and it's still not fixed? Really? You're gonna force your players to still go. Maybe my copy is so broken that maybe I'll take that. Okay, you know what? I'll take it. That maybe my copy is flawed and then my FOV slider just won't work after 2 patches. But I'm betting on it. I'm gonna bet the McDonald's burger that I ate last night that that it is still broken for other people. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
2 patches later, it's still not fixed. What the hell is going on?
To me, it seems less like it's not fixed and more like they've worked out how to do it with config files. We don't really need to do this.
But it's also, unfortunately for you, Stacy, not a major concern because FOV sliders are. Think of FOV sliders as the ice cream that goes with your cake. It's not necessary, but they might give you some.
See, I 1,000,000% disagree with you. That is not necessary. It's insanely necessary. Because of the fact of how many times have you guys seen me get full-blown sick on a stream because I couldn't play a game because this FOV was so bad? You know,
plenty of times.
Exactly. It's incredibly necessary because not everybody's like you, Casual. You play in a big screen, so it was a perfect game for you. Well, me, I prefer the computer, so I'm on a smaller screen, very much closer to it. Without a larger FOV, I get sick and I cannot play these games. So why would a game company not do something as simple as put an FOV slider in just to make sure that a segment of the community can play their game? Why is this not a bigger issue? You know what I mean?
Because the segment of the community is small enough that it's not even a vocal minority. It's a non-vocal, with the exception of you right now, literally. It's one of those things where most of the gamers don't care. So since the majority don't care, they're not going to do anything about it right now, especially since, like you said, it can be fixed with the config files.
That's the funny thing. That's what I saw in all the forums when it first came out was FOV. What the fuck? Why is it broken? And then everybody just went to the config files. I just hate the fact that companies depend on the gamer to fix it themselves. You know what I mean?
And that's exactly what I was saying earlier, is that we live in a world where it's all beta now. We live in a world where gamers are so used to being able to fix things themselves or wait for a patch, and this is even worse, there's a mod for that.
Oh,
I hate that statement because while I agree, I'm sure there is a mod for that. Why should I have to rely on a mod for a game to fix something that should be in the game?
You know, that's the funny thing. We're talking about No Man's Sky right now, where we are arguing that we have to fix ourselves. But there's people out there who are trying to fix their own goddamn consoles, and they're getting in trouble for it. Now, I know, Rad, if I remember correctly, weren't you the one that brought this up to me?
Yes, I was.
Now, this is, like, insane to me. Could you take this one a little bit?
Well, for right now, there is a to get your get like your PS3 fixed, for example, you have to either take it to an independent repair shop where they replace it with Chinese parts, aka not official parts, or you send it to Sony and pay $150 and have them fix it for 2 weeks. And there's no guarantee that you'll actually get your console back.
It should be noted it costs $80 just for them to look at it.
Yep.
So pretty much what's going on right now is there are a few legislative bills being introduced to allow independent shops to be officially licensed, by Sony, Microsoft, whoever, and have access to the official spec sheets and have access to official parts to be able to fix your console.
Now, does this go back into my normal argument of open source? Is this wanting them to make it open source, the actual hardware, or is this just for repair and that's it?
It's just for the repair. Now, the argument against this is, it opens up proprietary stuff to hacking and things like that.
I knew it! Fucking Okay, go ahead, please. Go ahead. I'm fine. I swear, I'm good. Go ahead.
This is what Stacy Triggered looks like, or sounds like. But for right now, as enthusiasts, you cannot fix your own consoles. It voids the warranty and all that stuff. If your console is already out of warranty and you're not confident in what you're doing, then you're kind of stuck. You got to go to other sites and try to buy like a used one or something. Now, fixing your own console hardware-wise is actually pretty simple.
Oh, it's stupidly easy. I've fixed a PS... I can't count how many PS2s and PS3s I've fixed in my time. Same with PS1s. It's just how you have to do it, unfortunately. You know what I mean?
Exactly, especially for older consoles. Now, the first time I ever tried to replace something was my old NES.
Oh, yeah.
I had to replace the cart connector. I had never seen the inside of an NES before. I took it and it's like, okay, I take these screws off, take it off. Okay, I take a look at it. And then I figured it out. I figured out how to do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now most people, that'd be very intimidating, but it's not that difficult.
It's now, really not. Like, hell, for the longest time, I started a little side business where I did that for people, and it was amazing how many people were scared to open up their own systems just to open it up. They were terrified. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's where most of the people that do repair consoles actually started that way. It started as like a little side thing that they made a business out of. Mm-hmm. So it's very important to keep an eye on what's going on with this bill as far as the average person getting their game consoles repaired.
It'll also bring the cost down if it gets passed, because once you create competition in repairing things, then everybody will have to reduce their price. Like, the reason it costs $80 to repair is because Sony can charge it. They're the only people that can legitimately repair it, or else your warranty is void.
There's two issues here. First off, quite as Casual pointed out, that it's legitimately just because they can, and they want to make sure that you're locked down and forced to do that, which makes sense from a business point, does it not? You want to make sure nobody has competition with you, and that totally makes sense.
Well, sure.
But there's also a second point, which, as you guys saw me lose my mind about, or heard me lose my mind about, should I say, which is the proprietary issue of... people have known me for a long time, be a huge proponent of open source. and free software or hardware, both. And I'm talking about free as in freedom, not free as in beer, where, like, you still have to pay for it, goddammit. I'm okay with paying for shit. I pay for all types of free software. Don't get me wrong. But it's just, I have a hard time understanding where people go, how about instead of improving this and, making it work better, we're going to tell our fan base and our users that they're not allowed to know how it works, so they can't improve it for themselves and us in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that all goes back to the open source thing.
Well, does it? See, I know there's some companies out there who look at open source and get scared, saying, look, all of our secrets will be out. Yes and no. Yes and no. Open source, people can see it. Okay, there's two different definitions here. There's open source and there's free software. Open source, you can still control how the hardware and software is used. Yes, the coding's out there. Yes, people can alter it, but it has to be used in this general direction. Free software, it's fucking free. It can be used for whatever you want. So that's the biggest thing here. So if you want open source hardware, you understand this, how the hardware works, but it still has to be used in this general direction of whatever direction, really. It has to be used in this general theme, basically. Now, if they made the hardware open source, imagine what it could do for both the community and also what it could do for PlayStation itself or Xbox. I'm not even going to talk about Xbox. It's fucking Microsoft. They won't do open source shit. But imagine what it could do for Sony PlayStation. Imagine what it could do, A, for the sales. B, what it could do for the community itself. Imagine what the things that just the PlayStation 4 could do if they could open source that hardware. Imagine PlayStation 5 comes out and Sony looks at its community and saw what they did with the PS4 and go, this is a great idea, this is a great idea, look at this little mod they installed, these are fucking amazing ideas. Put it together, PS5 is 20 times better than anything they could have ever thought of themselves because they opened it up to the community. Yeah, I mean, to me, this is well beyond just the repair. I'm sure a lot, and of course, they're also scared that if they open source it, that they're going to let the competition know how it works. Well, guess what, Sony? I know this may be hard for you to believe, but Microsoft's already bought the PS4, opened up, and know how it works. It's not very fucking tough. You know what I mean? It's not tough for your competition to reverse engineer your hardware.
But Microsoft is not going to they're not going to turn around and start repairing them for $40 a piece.
Oh, of course not. Fuck no. If they would, they'd be geniuses, but they couldn't do it
exactly.
Legally. I could see them having a hard time doing it legally.
And that brings us back full circle to what this issue is really all about.
Money.
Money, 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 money.
Money. That's what it's all about, man. I apologize. 1,000,000%. It's all about money. That's what it'll always be down to. People are either scared they're going to lose the precious little green thing they have in their pocket, or they're scared that they're not going to get as much of it this next time around. It's mind-blowing to me. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just because I've never been financially motivated, where my entire existence is around this fucking little piece of green paper that has no true value in the world. Maybe it's just that.
It actually doesn't. It used to, but it doesn't anymore.
Exactly. It's maybe I'm weird because I've never been that type of person. I as long as I have enough money to eat and keep my house, keep the roof above my head, I don't really give a flying fuck. If I die a poor man, guess what? I'm going to die the same exact way as the rich man. I really don't give a shit personally.
If I were a rich man.
God damn it.
He's just a poor boy from a poor family.
I swear to Christ. Please don't. God.
Sparing this life from this monstrosity.
Are we done? Why does
Are we ever?
Okay, ready? Everybody wanted to watch Casual lose his mind. Why does everybody love Queen? I don't get it. 3, 2, 1.
It's opinions, but...
Weren't you the one that lost your mind the last time I said that in chat?
No.
Who was it? Was it... Oh, I thought I could have sworn it was you. Somebody. I said that once in chat, and I saw chat legitimately explode. It was just pure hatred towards me because I didn't like Queen. Blew my mind.
That's like saying you don't like Elvis or the Beatles. I mean, it's
Exactly, man.
guaranteed to create controversy because they're a very popular band.
Yeah.
I do like Queen, the Beatles, and Elvis, but I'm just saying that, if you say you don't like Pink Floyd, expect people to flip their shit.
Very true. Very, very true. Very true. I don't know, maybe... fuck.
Just like this, people. Final Fantasy VII's overrated.
Okay, Stacy. Your turn.
Final Fantasy VII Boy Band Simulator 2016. You mean?
That's 15.
That's
It was released in 2016.
No, he said Final Fantasy VII.
I meant I know. Oh, 7.
Stacy's brain didn't register. It's like Final Fantasy VII shit. Sorry, I couldn't just.
Apparently.
His brain literally shut down when you said that.
Your lips were moving, but I didn't hear anything.
All I heard was a foghorn.
Apparently, me being tired from last night's concert still hasn't worn off. Jesus Christ. Jesus, man. Hold on. Sorry, it's getting hot as hell in the studio. I had to open up the window there. Yeah, fuck you, you little cunt.
There it is.
Delayed reaction.
Okay, I'll admit that it was not a perfect game for everyone. I'll admit that any day. You really had to get into that whole part of why the love story was so wonderful between Aerith and Tifa and Cloud, the little love triangle that was going on. You had to get into it deep, and you had to fall in love with Aerith or Ares or Eris, whatever your preferred pronunciation for her name was, to understand why the game was so amazing. And I understand that. That's fine. But I fell in love with the game. It was to this day, it's still one of those games I can play and still get emotionally attached to. I remember, this is how I knew it was a great game, all right? It was the very first time in my entire life I cried over pixels. To me, that's the definition of a good game. When I got so emotionally attached to a game, I legitimately started bawling my eyes out. By the way, spoiler alert, I know it's maybe a little fresh, but fucking Aerith dies. When she died by Sephiroth's hand, I bawled my eyes out my room. There I am. Stacy, are you okay? Mom, it's okay. I'm fine. Just got some in my eye. I'm fine. There, I'm just bawling my eyes out. My mom's like, "What the hell's wrong with you, idiot? It's just a game." Legit.
I'm sure Stacy's mom's not. She's like, "Stacy, you're right." It's like, yes, I'm just fapping.
I'm okay. Jesus Christ. No, but, that's how I knew it was a good game. That's how I could still play it to this day because there's such an emotional attachment. But I think, in all honesty, I'll admit this, that a lot of it is, as Casual called me out on it the other day, and I have to agree with him that he's right, rose-colored glasses with the game. Because it was such an emotional attachment to me back then, to this day, I'm still die-hard into it. Where a game like Metal Gear Solid, I tried... and I couldn't do it because it wasn't that much different than Final Fantasy, but I didn't have the same rose-colored glasses for it because I didn't fall in love with it back when I was a kid. And I think it's truly my issue. You know what I mean, Casual?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that Final Fantasy VII was a bad game because it wasn't. It was a great game.
Yeah.
But there are people, as this topic is probably going to cause discussion, that will say it's the greatest thing since individually wrapped sliced cheese. And there are other people that will say the same thing about Metal Gear Solid, that it's the greatest thing that's ever existed, blah, blah, blah. But there's a difference between the game that we grew up loving. And a lot of people, Final Fantasy VII was their first Final Fantasy. And so they end up, oh my word, this is the greatest thing ever. Nothing is ever going to be better. I'm just saying that maybe sometimes our perspective can be skewed.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll give you... All right, I thought everybody was stepping on each other. I'm like, I'll step back and let everyone step over each other and talk, get their words through eventually. But you're absolutely right. Well, my biggest issue with Metal Gear Solid was this. That when I played it, I ended up sitting where the final, like when I first started playing, I'm like, wow, this is kind of fun, but goddamn, is this beginning intro bullshit ever going to end? Am I going to be able to play the game? 5 minutes in, I'm like, oh, I can finally play it. Okay, good. And like it was just weird. Like I couldn't stop running. I couldn't walk to be quiet. But apparently the guards are so fucking deaf they can't hear you just right next to their fucking faces running, you know. But God forbid you tap your big toe into a mud puddle. What was that? Whoop! And they come walking over to you and shit, you know. I was like, okay, I could deal with this. It's PlayStation 1. It's fine. It's, older gaming. It's fine. It's still fun. The gameplay itself was fun. I mean, the shooting was just fucky, to say the least. I did not enjoy the actual battle systems. But once again, it was Final Fantasy. It was PlayStation 1. It's okay.
Well, the mechanics of that game were made because the developer, Hideo Kojima, who is one of those developers that is going to be revered as a god of gaming.
Yeah.
He actually, speaking of FOV sliders, he actually gets motion sickness. And
my man,
when he was developing that game, everything else, like Tomb Raider had come out, and Mario 64, and all of these other games with 3 dimensions, and he couldn't play those games because they made him sick, because of the camera, because of the way the camera worked.
Yeah.
So he kept the original top-down, which was really only there because back when the NES game came out, they couldn't do 3D. For that reason. And as a result, you got the kind of, let's say, shitty controls.
It was just rigid, I guess is the best way to say it. It was extremely rigid, but once again, it's a PlayStation 1, so those kind of controls are rigid. The camera I loved. I thought the camera was fantastic in the game. It could not have gotten better, except for maybe being zoomed out a tiny bit. That's the only thing I could say about that, but where my issue with the game came in was the story. Mainly the movie, which apparently it's called Metal Gear Solid the movie, # sometimes a game. My final straw was when I finally gave up because I was sitting there for 15 minutes fucking straight watching a movie. But it wasn't a good movie like in Final Fantasy. I'll get into this in a second, but I was sitting there. It was just straight storyline for fucking 15 minutes. But all it was 2 people talking, but their fucking faces were frozen in frame, and you saw that shitty mouth moving motion. That was the only bit that you saw for actual motion and movement and action, period, on this whole scene. So that's all you got. Period. That's all you fucking got. Where I started falling asleep, like legitimately started to get tired because of this, and I just got bored. So I was like, fuck this. So I mashed through it. Come to find out, because in the very beginning there was some extremely useful information, and then they just mixed into some random shit that made no sense. Like he was hitting on the chick, and the next thing you know, he's talking about how she was scared to shoot and that she should feel better about herself, and just dumb, stupid, pointless shit. And then in the middle of it, apparently, I didn't realize this when I was mashing through it, there's incredibly useful information that you need in that conversation. So there I am mashing through it, get done, and going, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? I can't finish this. And I can't go back and read the fucking file to find out what I missed, right? So I'm like, I'm fucked. I'm permanently fucked. And I rage quit at that point. And Casual, you threw this at me, and I do agree that what's the difference? Final Fantasy VII had the same exact thing, and many games before that and around that era had the same exact thing where it was just full of movies and full of storyline. But I think the difference was, for me at least, with Final Fantasy VII and many other games around that same era, was at least they had a full actual body movie part to it, so you could see them walk around, you could see them interact, you could see them do things. So it wasn't so mind-numbing, where this one, I can understand why. It was just the portraits, it was just them talking through comms, so you didn't want to have them sitting there and looking around, smoking a cigarette, pulling a dick, whatever. You know what I mean? Well,
I can say that the other problem with Metal Gear from your perspective, because I I can play devil's advocate with that game, is that a lot of the exposition in Metal Gear Solid, like you were saying, it doesn't have anything to do with the plot of the game.
Yeah.
It has to do with the love affair that Kojima has with military tactics and nuclear arsenals and politics and especially his love affair with James Bond. Now, you may not have gotten that from Metal Gear Solid 1, but if you played through the series all the way to Metal Gear Solid 3, that game is like his love letter to the James Bond franchise. For some reason, he just decided that was the game that he was going to do that. But I will also say that there is a certain cultural difference between what we as Westerners like and what those of the East like. In terms of exposition, generally a simple and fairly easy explanation is all we Americans need. You know, if you tell us that the reason magic works is because it just does, we're okay with that. I mean, that's as long as you give that explanation. You know, if somebody says, well, how does this work? And the wizard says, because I'm a wizard. We say, oh, okay. And we move on. But in Japanese culture, they tend to want the actual nuts and bolts of the explanation. They want to know why everything works the way it does in their universe. And as a result, you get Metal Gear Solid explaining that for 15 minutes and then finally letting you play the game again.
All right, so here's the thing. Sometimes that's really good. Sometimes that's fucking amazing. You know, sometimes you want to know about the nuts and bolts. When it's mythical, when it's magical, when it's machinery, you want to understand how does it work sometimes. Like, I know during the pre-show we brought up the example of, what the fuck? Star Wars, the Matrix. The Matrix and Star Wars both. Matrix, you want like they. I actually really enjoyed it when they went into why it worked, how it worked, stuff like that. That was interesting to me because I thought it was fun. But I know a lot of people hated it. Where with the midichlorian count, once again, that was one of the few parts, one of the few very, very, very small, few minute things I actually enjoyed about the new Star Wars, quote unquote new Star Wars. Episode 1 was the fact that they explained how the Force came about and what actually drove it. And instead of it just being a mythical power that one day you farted, all of a sudden, oh look, I moved some shit. You know. Wait.
You actually liked that part?
Yeah, I loved it.
Get out.
But the thing. Go ahead, Rad.
Well, we lost a lot of Star Wars fans.
If we didn't lose them when I bashed the first episode 1 through 3 and then said I refuse to watch 7, we're not going to lose them. We're fine. Trust me.
So the thing about midichlorians is it actually is opposed to the ideology of the Force as put forth in the original trilogy.
I don't remember that.
Because,
Go ahead, Red.
You probably know more about this than I do.
I actually don't. So,
once, ladies and gentlemen, we found something that casual doesn't know every fucking thing about. All right, come on, all right.
Well, to be perfectly fair, no one should know about midichlorians in the first place.
I agree.
But so pretty much in the original trilogy of Star Wars, the Force is laid out at, the ideology is that it's the Force that unites all living things. Mm-hmm. I believe it's explained by Yoda. When Luke was doing his training in the second one. However, the first one, the prequels say, if you have a high enough midichlorian count, you can use the Force. And it's not a Force that unites all living things. It's bacteria that lives in your blood.
Oh, fuck, you're right. I completely forgot about that.
It went from religion to biology.
Yep, and so then that leads to uncomfortable questions like, can I inject midichlorians and get the Force that way?
And why are if the Force is literally in everything, why are only certain people Force sensitive or whatever?
Also, remember that whole thing about like Darth Plagueis, like God, Emperor Palpatine mentioned like
There was a Jedi so powerful that they said he could not die.
Yeah, but I remember. I don't remember if this was like actually in the movies or if it was like a fan idea that Palpatine had Anakin. Well, it was either Palpatine or his master before him had such a control of the midichlorians that he was actually able to create life, and he created Anakin. That's like an idea that I saw. It's like, really?
What the fuck?
That's a fan theory.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah, the other fan theory is that that Darth Plagueis, the guy who couldn't die, that supposedly Palpatine was his student.
Oh yeah, that was. I thought that was more or less confirmed.
I don't know, but Star Wars lore.
Seen the prequels. God damn it!
So
It should also be noted that now that Disney owns Star Wars, so Star Wars used to have what is known as the extended universe, and that was all the books and games and everything else that they made. Well, when Disney bought out Star Wars, they said they literally had some like press release where they said, yeah, all of that wiped out. We're not using any of it. It's no longer valid, so it's only our way or it's no way. The problem is that now they're going to be releasing a movie every year, which may not be a problem. It depends. I enjoyed the what was it called? Rogue One.
Yeah, I thought Rogue One was pretty cool.
But because of that, even though they said we're not using any of that previous lore, they kind of are, because
they're taking bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, they're basically handpicking what they want. And that's fine. They own the product, whatever. But it's kind of a slap in the face to the people that have followed Star Wars for the last 30 years and really enjoyed that extended universe, and Disney just saying, oh, yeah, screw you all.
Yeah.
Hey, screw you there, eh, bud? Fucking hell. Well, come on, our local Canuck isn't here right now, so I have to do the voice. Hey, fuck you there, eh, bud? By the way, in case you're wondering why you haven't heard Undead's voice, he wasn't able to be here today. He's just having technical issues. He ended up having to move, so he wasn't able to have time to set up his rig, all that stuff. But hopefully next week he'll be back.
Undead is temporarily re-dead.
Oh, God.
He's only mostly dead.
I'm alive! I feel happy!
Bring out your dead.
God damn it. You know, this right here, this whole debate right here is part of the reason that I feel we need to move into this, because I love the fact that Casual posted this as a topic that we should bring in for the podcast. Why Stacy hates movies.
I want to point out that was a sarcastic topic idea.
But it has to be said. It absolutely positively has to be brought up.
Yeah, why, Stacy? What the fuck?
Because I'm an asshole.
I'm going to kick this off properly. Hey, Stacy, Heath Ledger's Joker was the best Joker.
I swear to fucking Christ. I will rip your testicles off.
I disagree. I think Jared Leto's Joker was far superior.
I'm done. Fuck this. I'm out of here. No, it's just, I think probably the biggest reason I hate movies, and it's not that I necessarily hate like specific movies of all, like, oh, this particular movie no, I'm not that type of person. I just hate movies in general. We're gonna get into how Stacy's mind works. All right, guys, are we ready for this?
As we'll ever be.
Strap in and get your popcorn.
I have huge disassociation issues where I will lose myself. I'll forget who I am. I'll find myself thinking I'm somebody else. It's really weird. It's extremely hard to explain. I have a lot of mental issues here, okay, folks? And that's one of them. All sarcasm aside, actually does. But, that's one of my main issues. So when I watch a movie, especially one that I really am a fan of the particular storyline, I tend to lose myself a lot. And that's part of why I hate movies, is because I can't stand watching them, because it'll make me feel awkward in the next 2.5, 3 days, sometimes up to a week. I have a hard time finding out who the hell I am again. I legitimately forget who I am, and I just turn weird. I can't talk to people. I'll miss a shit ton of work because I feel awkward. I can't remember how to do things. I can't remember how to talk. Well, now there's also the issue of I'm a huge fan of this particular franchise, and I don't like what's happening. Yeah, I mean, for instance, Heath fucking Ledger. You were great as a gay cowboy, buddy. Great as a gay cowboy. Not so much a fucking Joker, but all sarcasm aside, I think it's one, I fall in love with movies way too much. I fall in love with the character and the story of a movie too much, where I see what the movie does pisses me off, where I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do this particular choice here? It makes me not want to watch the entire movie now. And two, obviously, the disassociation where I lose myself. Like, I remember watching Batman, actually. And I got so weirded out watching Dark Knight Returns. No, it was something in the Dark Knight series. And I got
Dark Knight Rises.
I think it might have been Dark Knight Rises. I'm pretty because it was that god awful Bane.
That's the Bane one.
Fuck that Bane. That was an awful Bane.
Okay, but
anyway,
that Bane was far superior than the Bane that we previously got.
Oh, so, anything. Dude, my bowel movement this morning was better than the previous Bane. We're just gonna have something, put on a mask, inject him full of a thing called Venom. All of a sudden, he's just a big fucking. He's more or less a Mexican Hulk at this. Well, he wasn't even Mexican. He was a white guy in that previous one, which fucked me up.
Just a dumb henchman.
Exactly. He was just Hulk, but dumber. That's all he was, is Hulk, but dumber. That's all he was in the previous one. So yes, anything was better than the previous Bane. Fuck. Bane was a fucking brilliant bastard. So I fucking despise that. He was. Bane was insanely intelligent. I loved Bane so much.
Bane figured out who Batman really was.
That was the best part of the whole thing. And he was the only one who permanently damaged Batman. I think that's why I love Bane so much. Like Joker, so many times Joker fucking did who knows how many awful things and never once took Batman down permanently, or at least for a long time, should I say. Where Bane was just like, I know who you are. Busted your back. You're fucking done for, motherfucker. That's brilliant writing, dude.
I don't see Joker ever permanently hurting him. That would spoil his fun.
And that's why I love Bane. Because I love the fact that quite literally it's a love affair between Joker and Batman, because the two of them couldn't exist without each other. But I love the fact that Bane was like, fuck you, we're doing this and now it's done.
The irony of what you just said, you haven't seen Lego Batman.
I won't go see it.
I'm not even going to go into it. I'm just saying you
hate
said
Lego
something
movies.
And you haven't even seen a certain movie. So anyway.
That's not even the fucking canon. Fuck that goddamn movie. I won't.
It's a much better Batman movie than Batman v Superman was.
Anything was better of a Batman movie than Batman v Superman. I haven't even seen it.
Are you sure you want to go down that road?
Batman 1984 Batman was better Batman.
89.
Was
89.
I thought 84,
or
sorry.
60 whatever the original
Batman 66.
Oh, fuck 66, you and that Batman 66 nonsense.
Or Batman and Robin.
Okay, you know what? You won. You won.
By the way,
Batman versus Superman is better than Batman and Robin.
The Lego Batman had one of my favorite Robins.
Apparently, you're not supposed to breathe in coffee. Holy shit!
Well, you can. It's just gonna be adverse to your health.
It's gonna be why I die.
I claim his computer.
Fuck you.
I claim his guitars.
Whoa, no. The Ibanez goes to Ibanez. Okay, there's a reason I named my son Ibanez.
Stacy is so triggered.
I claim the porn.
You can have all the porn. I don't have any.
The fuck kind of.
I know, right? Yeah, I don't have porn. Fucking figure that. No.
Smart people don't save their porn.
Exactly. They open up the browser and then they close all the browsers when somebody walks in.
You just remember where stuff is.
Why do you have 30 browser tabs? What do you mean? No, but
I don't have nothing.
No, but okay. God damn it. Superman versus Superman and Robin just makes me think of chilling, awful things.
Superman and Robin. What?
So Batman and Robin. I'm sorry. You know what? I think Superman and Robin would have been a better one. Well,
they both wear their underwear like.
See, there we go.
Tight underwear.
They would have been matching. We're wearing tight whities on the outside.
Colorful tight spandex.
You know, I do have to say,
somebody is definitely fapping right now.
Oh yeah, talk more about Robin. But
so
go ahead.
Since Batman and Robin was obviously not a good comic book adaptation, everybody has their own opinions on which adaptation is their favorite, which one was the worst of all time. Stacy is Mark Hamill's the best Joker. Everybody with the Joker can die in a fire.
Pretty much. Well, okay, no. Everybody who played the Joker since took their own spin on the character and brought out interesting aspects. There's just some who did it way fucking worse.
Okay, so I'm not a huge DC fan. Like I never read the DC comics. I always thought that the characters were closer to gods than men, and it was hard to connect with those kinds of characters. But there's one character that I have always liked to a certain degree, and that is the Joker. I think that the take on the Joker has been unique every time. But what I'm going to say is probably not that controversial.
Okay.
Jared Leto's Joker sucked.
Oh, God, yeah. I would go as far to say 1989 Batman Joker was better than Jared Leto's. I would go that far.
Good old Jared Leto's.
I still maintain that the free versions of the Joker up until Jared Leto's Joker are good representations of the free ages of Joker, like the Golden Age, Silver Age, and Bronze to Modern Age.
Please explain.
Because I watched this in a video, but basically, you have the first, like, the Golden Age Joker, who was basically just straight up evil. He was straight up, like, he was a killer.
Mm-hmm.
Psycho.
Yeah, he just he said, "I'm going to murder someone," and then just did it. He wasn't really as wacky as his like Silver Age counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of comes through in what's his name? Jack Nicholson.
Yep.
Jack Nicholson
the
from
gangster
89.
Joker.
That's his name. And then you have the Silver Age Joker, which is the wacky one, where all of his crazy gadgets came from, and is much more of a joke.
Cesar Romero, Batman 66.
Yeah, that's the Joker that kind of represents that one. Then you have the Bronze to Modern Age Joker, which is when they started going into like the psychology and the psychosis of characters, especially the Joker. Yeah, and that's much more represented in Heath Ledger's Joker. So that's where I stand on the kind of Joker, and I'm not sure where they're going with where they were thinking with fucking Jared Leto's Joker.
Well, the other thing I've known about the Joker is the times in which Joker is represented, which is similar to what you were saying. Joker represents the fears of the time.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's
Absolutely.
like in '89, it was all about the mafia, the mob, organized crime, so to speak. And so Jack Nicholson's Joker was representative of that, as he was the gangster Joker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he was the mobster Joker.
Yeah. Well, same thing. We're not talking about gangsters as in, with their pants down their fucking ankles walking around with their badass.
That's why I'm saying that, because Jared Leto's Joker was the gangsta Joker. He was...
Yeah.
He was the ridiculous thug life, so bad.
Which, once again, bring it back to where we are. It's the modern day. It's what people fear.
Well, at least old people.
Where the rest of us are like, hey, how's it going, John? Hey, pretty good, John.
Those young people in the gangster rock life.
So obviously, we know, as far as adaptations, that Batman is not really Stacy's cup of tea.
Well, I love some adaptations. I just, when it comes to certain parts of Batman, people have done amazing in certain parts. When you want to break down the Joker in all different versions, almost every version of the Joker had a great take on it. It was just different parts of them. When it comes to Batman, fucking Bruce Wayne, oh my God, the new guy, Affleck, fucking knockout Bruce Wayne. Perfect what you want from Bruce Wayne. Looks sexy, acts suave as shit, can do that whole playboy, spend millions of fucking dollars, at least physical form and his facial features and how he comes to the role. Fucking awesome. I still think that Kevin was way fucking better at voicing the Batman and how the Batman needed to approach it vocally. But that's, of course, me, because I have a hard-on for how he did it. Anyway.
Fun fact about Kevin Conroy, he was the first one to give Bruce Wayne and Batman different voices.
Which makes sense.
Really? He was the first one?
Because obviously if Bruce Wayne or if Batman was just talking like Bruce Wayne all the time, well, hey, you're Bruce Wayne.
Exactly.
No, I'm not.
Also,
shut up.
And he was good.
Also, if Batman came up to you and he just started talking and it was just a guy, it would be far less intimidating.
That is true.
The difference is Kevin Conroy was smart enough not to go overacting.
Okay, I want to point something out, and this is something that movie lovers would notice. It was not that bad in Batman Begins. In Batman Begins, he had a different voice. Like he said, "I'm Batman." He just kind of lowered his voice a little.
Yep.
But in
pretty soon he turned into a corpse grinder for Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah, in The Dark Knight, people liked that. They liked the whole difference between Batman and Bruce Wayne, and I don't know if it was a choice by what's his face that played it, or Christian Bale, or if it was a choice by the producers, or whatever happened. But he went from "I'm Batman" to "I'm Batman."
That's pretty much it, man.
Mermaider.
Where's Rachel? And he actually was harder to understand than Bane was,
which is fucked up. Yeah,
maybe it was like Bane's like challenging him.
Okay, I also want to point out that Bane was even harder to understand in the original version, because when they released the trailer for Batman The Dark Knight Rises, Bane, you couldn't understand him.
They had to redub him.
They redubbed every single line after the fact, because when people saw the trailer, they were like, what?
On the bright side, at least he was wearing a mask, so they didn't have to worry about the really bad overdubbing, like from fucking, Godzilla overdubbing. Could you imagine that? How badly Dark Knight Rises would have been? Just, they do the fucking, like, the Godzilla where he starts talking, like, 3 milliseconds later. That fucking dumb shit that happens. Oh, okay, that would have made that amazing.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
I have a question for you then.
Yeah, Schnookums?
What is your favorite adaptation?
Okay, so we know who my favorite adaptation of Bruce Wayne is. By far, it's got to be Affleck. But who's my favorite Batman? Oh, Jesus. Honestly, I would have to say Corpse Grinder. What's his name? Skinny Boy.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, thank you. Because the fact that he is so underwhelming physically that made the character that much better as Batman. Because you don't expect necessarily a muscle-bound freak. You don't expect that at all. You know what I mean? But but when you got oh god, I'm gonna feel bad. What was the original Batman of the movies?
Adam West.
Not Adam West, the movies.
It's Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton and the dumb shit after him. Oh fuck.
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer, thank you.
And even worse, George Clooney.
Oh god, don't even get me started on that asshole. He failed on all fronts. But Michael Keaton and Val Kilmer, like they were good, but they looked a little too buff to me. That's the one thing I can say, which sounds silly, I know, but they looked a little too buff for me.
Ben Affleck, if you're talking about that, he looked like he was swole.
That was the Frank Miller version.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god, was that when the nipple suit came in, the bat nipples?
Not bat nipples. That was like one of the old ones.
That's started with Joel Schumacher, Batman Forever.
Oh, okay, sounds good. Thank you. But it's just, fuck, what's his name again?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, thank you. It's just the way he filled out the suit, the way he stood, the way he was able to physically take on the Batman. I'm not talking vocally. I think he failed vocally on the Batman. I truly do. Because he just overacted it. Even in the very beginning, it was okay, but it was still a bit overacted. But at the fucking, by the end, it was terribly. But physically, how he stood in the suit, how he looked at people, he just pulled it off perfectly as the physical Batman. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Fun fact for you. The official bio for Batman is he's 6'2", 210 pounds. Christian Bale was 6'1.5", 205.
Perfect. There you go. Enough said. Yeah, I mean,
and
that was it.
It should be noted, whatever you may think of Christian Bale, he is one of those actors that is a method actor.
Until you walk into his lights on stage, on the set, and then he loses his mind.
Well, yeah, but he's one of those actors that puts in the time and effort to be appropriate to the role.
Oh, you mean just like Leto?
Sometimes people go too far.
That's not method acting. That's method acting in quotes.
That's method acting.
Meth acting. There you go. See, there you go.
That is excellent.
Now, what are your guys' favorite and least favorite? I'm not talking just Batman. It could be any universe. I know I talk about Batman a lot because I'm emotionally invested in it. I love Batman. I love it so dearly. But what are your guys' favorites?
Everybody loves Batman. I mean, that's why Batman sells tickets.
I disagree. There's a lot of people who fucking despise Batman, but they buy tickets to go see it so they have reasons to tear into it. Well, it's true. What are your guys' favorite adaptations of any character?
Iron Man.
Really?
Okay,
that's a good one.
So here's why.
Okay.
Iron Man as a character is an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call it? Tony Stark.
Yep.
Tony Stark was an asshole who was a drinker. He was a jerk face, and basically when I found out that, and this isn't about the actual movie so much as the actor they chose to portray him. Choosing what's his face? Robert Downey Jr. was like turning on a light switch.
Oh yeah.
It was the most brilliant choice. And keep in mind when Jon Favreau said Robert Downey Jr. to the producers or whatever that were making the movie, they said, the guy that's always getting in trouble for drugs, are you insane? And what he saw in Robert Downey Jr. was he worked with him previously in a few movies. But what Robert Downey Jr. brings to Tony Stark is Tony Stark. Aside from the brilliance in engineering, which I'm assuming he doesn't have, he is Tony Stark. He is the epitome of Tony Stark. He is his life and Tony Stark's life are like one and the same.
You're absolutely right, man, because when I first saw that, I was like, really? And then I stopped and went, oh, he is an asshole. Yeah, that's a good one.
he used drugs. He was a jerk for a lot of the time. He is literally Tony Stark. And I would even argue that he is brilliant at acting where Tony Stark is brilliant at engineering. So it's like the match made in heaven,
The best way I could say about his acting skill is that, what's that, Tropical Storm or Tropical Thunder?
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. When that quote that we see all over the internet, you just went full
dude
retard.
Playing a dude disguised as another dude.
No, it's you just went full retard. You never go full retard.
You never go full retard.
I had no idea that was him. I had no idea because I remember hearing I was talking to my this back when I was married. I was talking to my wife at the time, and she's like, "You know what I like about him? He was the only one who was ever successful as a white guy playing a black guy." I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean?" She showed me Tropic Thunder. I'm like, "Oh, that was him." I had no. I thought he. Maybe I was just oblivious, but I thought it was actually a black guy. So I was like, that, which you're probably gonna be like, "Oh, that's racist." No, like legit. He was the only person in history who successfully played a black guy and convinced people it was really him. Maybe that was just makeup that was that good, but that's besides the point, damn it.
Side note, Tropic Thunder, Tom Cruise.
Yes.
God,
yes.
I hate that guy so much.
If you have ever seen anything with Tom Cruise and you saw him in Tropic Thunder, there were a lot, like you were saying, Stacy, there were people that didn't know that he was Tom Cruise. They were like, what?
You're absolutely. That's one of the few roles I was like, wow, he actually was decent for once. I didn't think it was possible, Tom Cruise.
He was hilarious in that movie.
And he didn't have to get into his underwear and slide in singing a song. I mean, Roy, come on now.
Wow, that is an old reference. If you want to modernize that reference, people listening,
jumping on Oprah's couch.
He didn't run into the scene, jump on a bike, and because he does that in every movie. He runs and he rides a bike.
Pretty goddamn much. Ting ting. No, we're talking motorcycles. But how about you, Rad? What's your favorite, man?
Okay, as somebody who does not read comics, I know very little about comics, other than most of my superhero knowledge comes from movies, pretty much. Pretty much all my Superman knowledge comes from the animated show.
Well, that's fine. There's nothing. A lot of times the animated show stuck halfway decent to canon, so that's okay. Mind you, I said halfway.
I mean, a lot of times the cartoons added to the canon.
Yep.
Like in the case of Harley Quinn.
Yeah. She was a creation, and she was one of the best creations from the canon.
And I just want to point out, she's over 20 years old now.
Shh. Let me live and see that she's
that's
still
right.
young 20s. She's still early 20s, and she's still my waifu. Shut the fuck up. Go ahead, though. I'm sorry, Rat.
So pretty much as far as mainstream stuff, probably the animated Superman show.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, just now thinking about it. I mean, and I did enjoy Batman Beyond also, minus the end. But as far as comic book adaptations, other than mainstream, I would probably say the Constantine movie.
Oh, that was such a good movie. I don't know the adaptation because I never read the comic, but
was the Constantine movie the one with Keanu Reeves?
Yes.
Yep.
Whoa.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Well,
okay. Stacy, stop that.
I can't get past whoa. Every time I hear him, whoa, that guy? Okay, I know who you're talking about.
I think it was funny though, they got Keanu Reeves to play a blonde Englishman.
Well, that's actually part of the controversy about that movie is that it's not a very faithful adaptation to Hellblazer, which is what it was. But I thought, from what I know, what little I know about the Constantine mythos and everything, I thought that was a brilliant movie.
It was a decent movie. It just wasn't a decent adaptation.
Yeah,
it wasn't what it was. People wanted it. Like, it wasn't what it was supposed to be. But it was like a happy accident.
Did he at least say once, whoa? Please tell me he at least once said the whoa.
No, he doesn't.
Damn it!
But another good thing about that movie is they portray hell as the center of downtown Los Angeles.
I thought that's what hell really was. Have I been lied to by this book? Really?
If you're stuck in traffic, it is.
I like the portrayal of hell. I thought it was pretty cool. I always enjoy seeing different takes on hell.
And a special shout out to Peter Stormare as the devil.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, he was brilliant. I was like, the devil. Oh yeah.
Yep, that guy.
He does a great. He is what is known as a character actor. Basically, there are certain actors that they're never the lead. They're never even really the co-star. But when you see them in a role, you are not going to forget them. You may not remember their names, but they are always the most memorable people in the movie.
Even though he's only on screen for probably 5 minutes.
Yep.
So, I just enjoyed that movie for what it was. As I found out later, very, it's Constantine in name only.
Yeah.
But it's, it just resonated with me at that time. And it still does.
Suppose you could argue, since it wasn't actually called Hellblazer, they just did a different take.
Yeah. I mean, if you never read the comics, you wouldn't really know it was meant to be a Constantine, that kind of Constantine movie, at least.
Well, how about you, Robbie? What was your favorite, Robbie?
Oh God, I'm gonna go for something different and say Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, it was
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, it was an indie comic.
Really?
Yeah. I really loved the comic. Reading it, and I think they, a few years ago, they released colored versions of it. But it was done in the shape and size of kind of like a Japanese manga, which I thought was really cool. And yeah, it's basically I don't know if you've seen the movie or know the premise of it.
I've never seen it. No.
Basically, it's like I remember it's set in like Canada.
Yeah.
It's basically about this guy Scott Pilgrim who meets this girl Ramona Flowers. I think it was Ramona. Yeah.
Yep. Ramona Flowers.
Yeah, and basically, to go out with her, he has to defeat her 7 evil exes. And
So it's like real
cool.
life and marriage. Son of a bitch.
It's really cool. It's got a lot of video game and retro references.
That's actually really cool, man. I would never thought of that ever.
It's also, in my opinion, which is controversial, it has a better ending than the comic.
Yeah.
It's happier.
I think I'm surprised because I would never thought of stepping away from mainstream comics into webcomics. I would never thought of that, but that's a fucking awesome. God damn it, Robbie, that's good. I like that, dude.
Okay, I'm all about indie comics. I love that show.
I don't know why I would never thought of it. I just never would,
Yeah. I guess not many indie comics get movies made out of them because they're a lot bigger of a risk to take.
Yeah, well, wasn't that the one that also got a video game made after it too?
Yeah,
it did.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I would also like to point out another. I don't know if it was an indie comic per se, but it was a graphic novel that most people don't even know it was a graphic novel. amazing movie, Road to Perdition. Tom Hanks.
It was
Tom Hanks is
it was a good movie.
Prohibition era gangster. And it's about the story isn't about a gangster. It's about his son and how he's trying to keep his son out of that kind of life.
Yeah. I will say my least favorite adaptation or comic adaptation of a movie was The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And that's purely because I fucking love the comics by Alan Moore of those things. And the movie, it was very different to the comics, and I really would love to see a proper adaptation of The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen done.
That'll never happen, but I would also... I want to comment on Alan Moore.
Okay.
Fuck Alan Moore. The reason I
Strong
say
words.
that,
I like this.
he is a great writer. I'm not going to dispute that. But what I have a problem with him specifically is that he sells his product to people to adapt them, right?
Yeah.
You know, because without his word of God, yes, you can adapt this, they wouldn't be able to, because he retains like creative control over everything he does.
Oh, yeah.
Then he comes out to every single movie that's ever been adapted and says, I hate this. I don't want my name attached to it. If you don't want your name attached to these movies, then stop selling your product.
It's like, I want them to adapt my stuff, but they keep fucking it up.
Exactly. Now, if he had like only let somebody adapt his stuff like 3 times and then that was it, he said no more, fine. But there's like I don't know how many products he's the Watchmen, V for Vendetta. That's one. What was the From Hell?
Oh yeah.
Like and others that I can't even remember. It just. Screw you, man.
You know what's funny about The Watchmen? I loved The Watchmen when I first watched it. And then I was like, oh, I got to read the comic now. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
Okay, so I'm going to say another controversial thing.
Lay it on me, bitch.
I like the Watchmen movie better than the comic.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mostly because of the way the comic ends with the giant space alien octopus thing. Just... What?
Okay, you win. It's just I don't know, man. I thought the comic was brilliant, and I love the movie so much. I was like, this is so cool. This is amazing. Just the thought process behind all the characters, how they interact. What is his name? I can't remember his name for life of me. The one that's on the moon.
Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan, I loved how
it was
John Osterman.
It was Mars.
Oh, it was Mars? I'm sorry. Mars. How he worked, like how they character, it just, I loved how they all interacted together. And then I read the comic, like, this is so much better! Why didn't you work with this man? Come on! Did you read it? Did you even read the comic before you did this?
Well, keep in mind that the comic is 12 issues.
Yeah.
And let's assume for a moment that you can reduce each of those issues to, let's say 15 minutes, which would be difficult because there's a lot of dialogue, there's a lot of story going on.
True.
If you could reduce each of those issues to 15 minutes, you're still looking at, like, what?
A 3-hour movie.
Yeah, and the movie was already 2.5 hours. Plus, you've got the pirate side story, which I get why it was there, but that doesn't work in a movie.
Yeah.
That's why I liked the movie better, because it condensed a very dense story into 2.5 hours in a successful way.
It's funny you bring up that movie. When I first saw it in theaters, you know, I had never read the comics. I still haven't. The whole concept of Dr. Manhattan just captivated me, as Stacy was saying. You know, that he sees everything all at once. And I thought that was pretty much, yeah. And I thought that was a brilliant idea. I saw the movie. I was very disappointed in it. I was like, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. Now, after
was it the blue penis?
I can't diss the blue penis. That was a hell of a donger. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, you want to look at you wanted to look at his girl. I can't remember his girlfriend's name for the life of me.
Silk Spectre.
Yeah, and you want to look at it and go, how did you take it? I mean, how did he?
Okay, I have a question for you, and this is sort of on topic, but not really. She gets angry that he makes a copy of himself.
It's still him.
What woman would get angry at that?
I can picture that being like the one time a woman actually wants a threesome.
Right, like it's him. Would you like 4 of me? Yes, please. I mean, come on. That's the most unrealistic part of that whole thing.
Jesus Christ, casual.
Especially since he can change his size.
Now, I can see her being angry that he was also working on his project. That's fine. But how she got to realizing he was working on his project is that she was angry that he made a copy of it. No.
Well, here's my thing.
I guess the working on project is the equivalent of fucking a girl that's texting at the same time.
God damn. Yeah. Well, here's my thing, though. The copy is still him. It's still him completely. It's just a carbon copy of him. It's still him. It's still his. It's all part of him. It's not like a clone where it's independent thought. It's still his thought process. Still everything about him. It's just him in 2 different rooms at the same time. I don't see why that would be anger. Yeah, I mean, I that one scene, I was like, what the fuck? Why are you angry about this? It's still your lover.
It's the fact that she's not a priority.
Yeah.
I disagree. She still was a priority.
No, she was not.
She feels like if she was really a priority, he wouldn't create a copy. He'd do it himself.
It's still him, though. It's still him.
It's not the original him, though, and that's what she wants.
See, I disagree. Maybe the way I looked at it was still the original him the whole time. 1,000,000%. It was just another part of him. That's it.
It was technically still him, but it's the fact that he's doing 2 things at once. Not for lack of a better phrase, he's doing 2 things at once and not just doing her.
Okay, I do understand that completely, but at the same time,
when you wants him all to himself.
When you get in the mentality of Dr. Manhattan, you have to understand you understand why he did it. It makes sense why he did it.
And that's why he left, because humans don't make sense to him anymore.
Which is funny because now I don't remember if he said. I don't think he says this in the movie, which was something I felt was necessary. When he leaves, he says, "I'm going to go create life in another universe."
He did say that. He said, yeah. I think I'm going to. Life is such a funny thing. I think I'm going to try it myself.
Yeah, and that is one of the. That's why when I first read the comic and saw the movie, Dr. Manhattan is, and this is going to get really theological here. Dr. Manhattan is God. Here's the way it works: man, through science, creates Dr. Manhattan.
Yep.
Dr. Manhattan is so powerful. He is a god. He can do literally anything. God creates man. Now put that in a temporal loop. God creates man, creates God, creates man, creates God. That's what I found
ad infinitum.
Interesting. Yeah, I found it really interesting as a person of faith that, whoa, what if?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a god, what better way to ensure your own creation than to create your creators?
So pretty much the Dr. Manhattan thing comes down to something I was mentioning in V for Vendetta. By the power of knowledge while living, I have conquered the universe.
And think about it, if he sees everything, he knows exactly he's going to create humans.
Yeah,
and that they're going to create him.
That's where it gets into that the constant loophole, as casual put it, or just the the impossibilities where you can't help but sit there and talk about all the possibilities of what could happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, God, man. I don't. Oh, shit. Damn it. I love you for this, Casual. I love you, man.
As Stacy said, whoa.
Whoa. All right, guys. Unfortunately, as much as I don't want to do this, I think we hit about the wrapping up point. Thank each and every one of you guys so much for swinging back in and doing this with us again. And we have to verbally berate Undead when we see him tomorrow for not being here, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Don't be re-dead, be undead.
Exactly. All right, I am Stacy Kruger. Who are you guys? From the bottom up, just to be kinky.
Oh,
Yeah, you're the bottom bitch, motherfucker.
I'm on the bottom for once. Jeez. I'm Robbie, and I'll get the shovel so we can dig up Undead.
I'm Rat Hazard. I'm in the middle.
He's our white gooey goodness in the middle of his fucked up Oreo.
I'm casually challenged, and I'm not sure I want to be on top anymore.
Jesus Christ. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We have been the Odd Pod. We'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.